Yo, Rocco B, Scotty G, highly explicit NFL podcast. We're back, episode 41. Holy shit, the fucking 2022 NFL draft is over. Thank fucking God for me. But I'm Rocco B in Louisville, Kentucky, and basking in all of his friggin' glory from the draft that those Jets had in Orange County, California. Hey, my boy, Scotty G.
How you doing?
Oh, Scotty, we got fucking sauced. We got sauced, huh?
I got sauced. I couldn't be happier to get sauced, I'll tell you that.
Oh, my God. I felt happy for you. I was actually happy myself.
It's the greatest draft of my fucking life, I'll tell you that
Greatest draft of the Jets of all times, okay? All times. And we're going to get into that, believe me. I was happy for you to see what they did. I think you'll disagree with me a little bit when I say the team who had the best draft. I don't want to rain on your parade yet.
Was it the Cowboys who had the best draft?
Oh, don't get me started. Dr. Tomas, though, and his Eagles had quite a bit of a draft as well. He won't join us today, but the fucking Eagles, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that decision,
they got
actually.
Jordan Davis, man, and then, oh, man, a huge...
I love Jordan Davis.
Me too.
I just don't know how I feel about the other big trade that happened that day.
The other trade, A.J. fucking Brown, as I call him now. You remember I loved A.J. Brown.
Yeah, you loved him.
But now I'm calling him A.J. Glass because he ain't going to fucking see the field for more than half the season. And
how quickly the tides change.
Quickly, yeah. We forget. I think they overpaid, and I think, his knees aren't going anywhere. So the Eagles, I think, made a huge mistake.
We'll get into it. We'll get into
that, but we'll let Dr. Tomas's, ass bask in his own glory, too. But are you ready?
I'm always ready, Rock.
I got to go off. I just got to go off for a minute. Just give me a
I
second.
knew you did. I could feel it. I could feel it through my mic. There was something. I heard it in my headset. I said, "There's something with Rocco. He's holding back something." And I said, before I go off on my Jets, and this guy gets in his fucking piss party mood that he's gonna get into, I know he's got something up his sleeve. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you get it out before we talk about some positive things that happened in this beautiful weekend that just passed.
Okay, here we go. All right. Like you just said, before we get into the fucking Scotty G show over here, and believe me, I know you got to work off that huge chubby that you got in your shorts from the New York Jets best draft of all time, okay? All right, but I got two big things I got to address here. Two big things, and it definitely ain't what, was in my shorts, I'll tell you that. But number one, my mock draft, okay? Let me take you back to last year, 2021 NFL draft. I got 9 fucking picks correct in the first round, plus a perfectly predicted correct trade when I said the Chicago Bears would move up to number 11 with the New York Giants to snatch Justin Fields. Bada boom, bada bing, it happened. Only one prognosticator picked more correct picks than me last year, fucking Todd McShay with 11. Fast forward to this year, the 2022 NFL draft.
How'd you do this year?
After picks 1 and 2 being correctly predicted with Aiden Hutchinson and Trayvon Walker, Aiden going to the Lions and Trayvon going to the Jaguars like I told you from day one, I stood in the fucking batter's box like Jose Altuve thinking I was knowing exactly what was coming. And then bang, 30 incorrect picks later. I'm standing there with 2 correct picks total, my fucking dick in my hand, walking out of Adrian's restaurant saying, I got 2 picks, Scotto. I mean, I really fucking went for it.
It was bad, bro.
Okay, with all the quarterback picks and the trades, and of course the whole fucking Deebo Samuel bullshit that I bought into, it really put me in a hole. And like the true Dallas Cowboys fan that I am, unfortunately, I'll be looking forward to the 2023 draft. That's what I'll be looking forward to. Which leads me in to number 2. Number 2.
This is sad.
Fucking Dallas Cowboys. I've thought long and hard. Believe me, those 2 attributes I possess in other areas, but I digress. I hated the Tyler Smith pick at 24. Fucking hated it. Did we pass up on Tyler Linderbaum? Yes. Did we pass up on Jermaine Johnson? Yes. Did we pass up on Devin Lloyd? Yes. Tyler fucking Smith. Are you kidding me? This kid's been flagged 16 times in 12 games. He's had his fucking legs broken and put back together again, like fucking Humpty Dumpty. And he went to a smaller school when he went to Tulsa. But, to steal Scotty's wonderful phrase, I also hated our pick of Tyron Smith at number 9 in 2011. I wanted J.J. Watt. And I hated our fucking pick of Travis Frederick at 31 in 2013. I wanted the honey badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Look at how that turned out for Dallas. I got a feeling that we're seeing the next coming of a Tyron Smith, of an Eric Williams at guard at first, and then he'll move to tackle as soon as Tyron hangs him up. I have to believe that, Scotty, because if I don't, I'm going to fucking lose my mind that Linderbaum, Jermaine Johnson, Devin Lloyd easily could have been a Dallas Cowboy, and I believe that each of those fucking guys will be Pro Bowlers on their respective teams, the Ravens, the Jets, and the Jaguars. Yet the fucking Dallas Cowboys picked Tyler Smith.
So where you were trying to believe you're going to see something great, I was kind of just thinking maybe this is the first sign of Alzheimer's that we're seeing from fucking Jerry Jones. Because this guy's showing his draft board. He's got some type of senioritis shit going on in his fucking head where he's deteriorating before our eyes. He's losing his fucking shit, dude. Hasn't the Cowboys, weren't they one of the most flagged teams last year?
Yes, Scotty.
On offense?
Yes, that's
why
the problem.
Fuck would you go get a guy who attracts flags like a goddamn magnet? Why would you go get that?
I know, and that's the issue I'm having with this kid. I don't give a shit that his legs are broken and put back together again.
You also left Nakobe Dean on the board. I mean, I would have even understood if you took Raymond, if you took Sky Moore. There are so many guys left on the board from all of accounts of what people believe they're going to be. That would have been such a better pick. It would have made more sense if they traded back and got this Tulsa kid. What the hell was Jerry thinking fucking picking this guy?
Listen, they got
to
balls.
me, he's off his fucking rocker.
They got their own balls. They want to say we know better than you. Now listen, okay?
I'll give you this before you talk. I'll give you this one thing. There is no other general manager in the last decade or so that has picked more Pro Bowlers than Jerry Jones.
Yes.
I will give you that.
Now listen, we can't put it all on Jerry. You got to put Steven in there as well, because here's the thing. Talk about Tyron Smith. You talk about Travis Frederick. You also got to talk about Zach Martin the next year in 2014. Who did Jerry want in 2014? He wanted fucking Johnny Football. Okay, he wanted Manziel. And Steven said, whoa, daddy-o. Back the fuck up. We're not taking him. We're going to take an all-pro guard. And they did. Not sexy, but they did, and look how it's turned out, with Zach Martin. He's a pillar of our fucking offensive line.
I get you. I'm not saying I'm upset with the position they took. I just don't like that guy.
Here's what happened, Scotty. I had to, again, in my little fucking monologue there, I had to think about this because I hated it day one. And I had to think about it after that. I had to, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I had to think about it. And I thought, okay, if you look at how the board played out, you got Kenyon Green going 15. He's gone. Houston takes him. You got Zion Johnson. He's gone. The fucking Chargers took him at 17.
According to Jerry, they had the Tulsa kid above those two.
I understand.
Jerry's out of his fucking tits.
I understand. They love this kid. He's a Texas kid, Tyler Smith. Went to Tulsa. He's, I don't like that. But 18, Traylon Burks comes off the board. Trevor Penning, another offensive tackle who's nasty, comes off the board at 19. You really didn't have your pick of what I thought Dallas wanted. I knew Dallas, I told you from the start, they weren't going to take Linderbaum. I think it's a huge mistake, but I knew they weren't going to do it. I'm shocked. They did extensive fucking work on Devin Lloyd. I'm shocked they didn't take Devin Lloyd. He went 27th, 3 picks later. And 2 picks later, as we'll get into, the Jets got the steal of the fucking draft with Jermaine Johnson at 26. I don't understand how you don't say, we lost Randy Gregory. We would like to fucking get our pass rush back. They took Sam Williams in the second round. Sam Williams ain't no fucking Jermaine Johnson.
Since we're on the Cowboys, let's just finish it up real quick. How did you like the rest of the draft?
The rest of the draft, I didn't mind Sam Williams at 2. I think he's going to be an underrated player at defensive end. The rest of their draft is kind of like it always is. It's just kind of a bunch of guys that fit Dan Quinn's scheme, long arms, tall. Jalen Tolbert in the 3rd round, I think, is going to be an interesting pick there. 3rd round, that's where we got Gallup. I think he reminds me of kind of like a Gallup-y, like a Cedric Wilson-y type player. So I think he'll fit right in. But after that, I don't think they're going to have a bunch of guys that make the team. I mean, they passed up on Araiza, the punter from San Diego State, which I couldn't believe, right, in like the 5th and 6th round. So I didn't like their draft, and Jermaine Johnson, to me, I said to everybody, I said Devin Lloyd's going to be a Cowboy, but I would have at that point taken Jermaine Johnson. But I would have never guessed he was there. So we'll see. Hopefully Tyler Smith, I think he's going to play left guard from day one, and we'll see what he does. But for a highly penalized team, like you said, bad pick.
I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of it.
Bad
and I
pick.
wasn't a big fan of the injury risk. I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was a shit day for the Cowboys on day one.
Yeah.
And like you said, the rest of the picks weren't terrible.
But listen,
the
Scotty,
South Carolina kid ain't bad.
Let's just stop talking about the Cowboys. I know you're ready. I've been ready.
Wait. I just gotta ask before we move on because it's gonna lead into the later segment on the Eagles. Are the Cowboys better today than they were yesterday? I guess before the draft, I should say.
I really don't think so. I really don't think so, Scotty. I mean, I really do believe you're right. I would have taken Linderbaum instead if they're going offensive line. Yeah, and that's it.
We'll leave it there.
We'll
now
leave
to
it
get
there.
into
Jets.
Now to get into the only championship I'll ever see the Jets win.
The Jets.
And that's the championship they won
Jets.
on Thursday and Friday. Jets, baby. They won that fucking draft. That was the best draft I've ever seen in my goddamn fucking life. I've been chomping at the bit to just say that on this goddamn show. These jerk-offs don't want to fucking talk the second the Jets do something right? I don't even give a fuck. We did our own draft. I got, 7 right? I don't even care about that. And, some spots, just for your sake, because I know me and Dr. Tomas thought we had to fucking talk you off the ledge for a minute there, but with your only 2 picks. But there was a lot of spots that we both, all 3 of us, had the right position. We just had the wrong guy. And that got all fucked up with the excessive amount of trades. That was an incredible draft, and one that we probably won't see one like that again for a long time, because that was insane. One quarterback be taken. Jesus fucking Christ. But to get back to my Jets, first off, they get sauced on pick 4, which, dude, I couldn't be more happy to be fucking wrong. I thought they were taking our boy Thibodeau. They fucking went the right route. They get the next coming of Darrelle Revis in fucking Sauce Gardner. I'm ready to rock with that pick. So then at 10, what'd I tell you? I want a fucking wide receiver. What'd I tell you? I'm nervous about Jameson Williams. He's a little fucking injury prone. What else I tell you? Who's the next best receiver on my board? Same one on the fucking Jets board. Fucking Garrett Wilson, baby.
Wilson to Wilson.
Take that motherfucker all day. Wilson to Wilson. We talked about it. And then, I gotta tell you, wasn't high on the guy. I told you, there's a potential bust, but there's a lot of hype on him. I ain't mad about taking him, especially where we took him. And what I tell you 2 episodes ago, I said I guarantee the Jets have 3 picks in the first round. I didn't say that when we did our mock because, fuck, if I said it would never happen. So good thing I didn't say it. But they come back into the fucking first round and they get your boy, Jermaine Johnson. You know what we didn't have? And I've said this to you before. What we didn't have in that 2009, 2010, 2011 seasons when we had Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie, we didn't have a fucking pass rush. We had no one to get to the fucking quarterback. You know what they got now? If Jermaine Johnson's who you say he is, we got fucking Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, and they got fucking Carl Lawson. And hopefully this motherfucker can stay healthy on the other side. Game over on defense.
Whole
if they
new
can
ball
fucking all
game.
play.
I'm going to tell you.
If they can all play up to what they're supposed to be, that defense is ready to fucking go, man.
Scotty, I mean, I couldn't be happier for you. I would have taken Jameson Williams instead of Garrett Wilson, but hey, who the fuck cares? I think Wilson's a good receiver anyway. Here's the thing. The other crazy thing is, yes, you did correctly predict to us. I don't know why you didn't mock it, but you did correctly predict that they were going to have 3 picks. Number 1 with that. Number 2, they could have had apparently 4 picks. Didn't they want to get back in to get Breece Hall?
They wanted to get back in to get Breece Hall, which brings me to my next point. Day 2, we go and get the best, quoted, running back in the draft. Now, I'm a big Kenneth Walker guy.
Yeah.
I personally like Walker better than Hall. But from all the accounts, most people have Breece Hall as the best running back coming out. So, fuck it. Let's get him, baby. They were trying to get him sooner, but they couldn't. Apparently, too, real quick, I found this out. They got Jermaine Johnson at 26, which... Real quick, why do you think this guy fell, by the way?
I'm trying to figure it out. The only thing I read up on it is that he had shitty interviews with a lot of teams. A lot of teams he turned off. That was the thing.
Okay.
But, watch the fucking film, man. Watch the film with this guy.
Yeah. By the way, I heard he had an excellent interview, though, with the Jets. I heard the Jets loved him. Apparently, I heard when he was in the Jets visit, he talked to Saleh, and Saleh loved him. Apparently, he was walking out of the office. Saleh told him, hey, we're coming up to get you, so just hang tight. And he said, all right, yeah, sure. And they asked the kid, and he said, yeah, Salah told me he was coming to get me. He's like, but to be honest with you, a lot of guys told me they're coming to get me. He goes, but I really did love the visit with the Jets. It was one of my best visits. And he goes, I was kind of hoping they would. And the Jets said, Joe Douglas said, from the pick 15 on, he was trying to move up to get Jermaine Johnson. No one would do the deal with him. Yeah. So when he got him at 26, they said they called him up. First thing they said is, we told you we we're coming to fucking get you. So, I mean, I was stoked for
people
him.
Jive.
But what were you going to say?
You know, there's people jive with each other, and some people don't. And I think that, does it shock you that maybe he didn't jive with, like, I don't know, 20 other fucking teams? Maybe. But I've heard stories before with players that come into fucking interviews with teams they don't want to play for, and they tank it on purpose. So who knows? Maybe he wanted to be in New York. Maybe he wanted to be in I don't know, Cincinnati or something or whatever, and he only was great in the interviews for those teams. Who the fuck knows? But you got him at 26. You traded back in.
Yeah, you don't know.
You watch the tape on this guy. He's going to be great, and he's going to fit that system perfectly. That 4-3 system, it's going to be fantastic. I think Sauce is going to be better than Revis, because I don't think Revis was a great ball player. I think he was great locking somebody down, but I don't think he's as
fucking watch your mouth.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. I really think that Sauce is even better on the ball than Revis was. So you guys had a fantastic draft. Wilson doesn't have to fucking come back from an ACL like Jameson does. And you got Wilson and Wilson. The Wilson and Wilson connection is going to be fantastic.
Real quick, I just want to finish up the Jets draft, and then we'll move on from it. The rest of the draft, they ended up getting a tight end, Jeremy Rucker. A lot of people were questioning because there was other guys on the board they could have gotten. I actually love this pick. I don't know if you know anything about this guy.
Yeah, he was a Dallas Cowboy, I thought.
Grew up a Jets fan, and they said he's a great. He owned George Kalafdis, whatever the fuck his name is, in the time when they played him. I mean, they said this kid can catch, but because he was at Ohio State, he didn't get a lot of balls thrown his way because they had so many other weapons.
Yeah.
And he's also a great blocker. But they said he's a little raw on some of the blocking, and he didn't get a lot of targets because there was other weapons. So if he gets a little bit better as far as the blocking, which you can train, the guy's like 6'5", 6'6". He's a monster. And then they end up getting an offensive lineman, Max Mitchell, and a couple other cats that I don't need to bore you with. But the reason why I mentioned Max Mitchell, this Rucker kid, and then obviously we know the 3 in the first round. There's something a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't even fucking realize, and it makes me a little bit even more excited about this draft. So what they're doing now is for the Senior Bowls, they're taking the 2 worst teams. You have to have a stable coaching unit, correct? Mm-hmm. So the Lions got in, the Houston Texans, and
Jacksonville.
Who else was it? And Jacksonville didn't have a stable coach because they both had vacancies. Mm-hmm. So it went to the Jets, which wasn't supposed to happen.
Yep.
The Jets were on the coaching staff, which guess who was the head coach of that coaching staff? Our tight ends coach. Guess what 3 players played on that Senior Bowl? Jermaine Johnson, Jeremy Rucker, and Max Mitchell. Yeah. All 3 of them, they got to see close up. All 3 of them, they got to work with, got to know their character. So it makes me feel even a little bit better because these are guys they've actually done more homework on and seen more like how they actually do the routine in their environment, opposed to someone else who could fool you just coming in on an interview on their best behavior.
Yeah, bada boom, bada bing. I hate to tell you though, and I think this kind of leads us perfectly into as we get off the Jets. I really believe that the Jets, as I am so happy for you, I think you fucking absolutely you aced the draft. You really did. But there was a team that went up to you. There was a team that won up to you. To me,
don't tell me who it is.
This team is so fucking good at drafting. They do it consistently year after year after year. It's the Baltimore Ravens. Let me just go into. You just said okay. You got 4 cats, and then you got maybe Rucker, and you got maybe this guy, maybe that guy, maybe. They have a bona fide. I'm talking bona fide potential 6 to 7 starters in this fucking draft class. Okay. Baltimore selects Kyle Hamilton at 14. What a fucking steal. He's going to start day 1, being a Pro Bowler probably. They trade back in to get Tyler Linderbaum after the dumbass Dallas Cowboys don't fucking come get him. Linderbaum's going to start day 1, be a Pro Bowler, guarantee it. Then, in round 2, at number 45, they took a potential top 15 player who will reunite with his Michigan defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald, and reunite with a former high school teammate, Odafe Owe. David Ojabo goes to the fucking Baltimore Ravens in a perfect system. He plays with the guy who coached him in college.
Can I stop you right there? I just want to say it really upset me they passed on Nakobe Dean because Nakobe Dean was fucked with because of his size. Now, I'm hearing there could have been medical issues, and that could have been another reason that we don't know, an unheard of or an unknown medical reason that we're unaware of, but everybody else knows of. But like, wasn't that like that was like your Ray Lewis, man? Why'd you pass on this?
Dean's going to
motherfucker?
sit out. So apparently Dean is holding back a bunch of injuries that he's taken that he's going to get surgeries for. They don't even think he's going to play in 2022. That's why I think.
I hope that's the case because that makes way more sense than this poor kid getting passed over because he's 5'11".
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it was the size at all. I think it was the injuries and the shadiness with the surgeries and all that shit. But then in round 3, Baltimore gets Travis Jones, 6'4", 330-pound defensive tackle who was once talked about as a first rounder. Okay? If he didn't play at UConn, he probably was a first rounder. Then, one of my favorite players in the whole fucking draft, did you hear about this kid, Daniel Falele, 6'8", 400 fucking pounds? Left tackle of Minnesota, who was second round pick potentially. They got him at round 4. He's played football for like 3 years. Wait to see when they fucking coach him. One of the best offensive lines in the game. Baltimore. They got a kid that's 6'8", 400 pounds. And
I know they're great at drafting.
His roommate was Rashad Bateman, who was the Ravens' first round pick last year. So he's gonna be feeling comfortable. He's gonna love it. And he's fucking 6'8", 400 pounds.
Drafting guys and getting guys based on comfortability and who they gel with, I think is an underrated thing that more teams need to start doing.
It's unbelievable. They got one of my favorite tight ends in the draft, Charlie Kohler from Iowa State in round 4. They drafted a punter out of Penn State who's going to be their starting punter. That's another starter. Another tight end likely out of Coastal Carolina in round 4. They're just loading up that tight end room. And then they got the kid in round 6, Tyler Beatty, running back from Missouri. He led the whole fucking SEC, Scotty, in rushing, 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns, caught 54 passes. That kid, I'll guarantee you, is going to be a stud for them this year because you got Dobbins and you got Gus Edwards and all those fucking guys who got hurt. He's going to come right in as a rookie, and you know how backs do as rookies. He's going to make that fucking team, and he's going to be fucking nasty. He led the SEC in rushing. SEC.
The team's going to be great. My only question mark is honestly Lamar Jackson and that receiving core.
Well, we all know Lamar Jackson's going to be a Miami
The rest
Dolphin.
of the team, if they stay healthy, that's a fucking balling team, dude.
Yeah, well, guess what?
Ballers.
Guess what? Not only is Lamar Jackson going to be a Miami Dolphin in 2023, they got Tyler Huntley, I think, who's a better quarterback anyway. So they're going to be just fine.
You could be right. I will say this one thing. Shout out to the Ravens is what's his name? Eric DeCosta is the GM over there, I believe.
Yep.
He learned strictly from Ozzie Newsome, who I think is one of the all-time greats. And I agree with you. He might have won the draft, or he was top 3 drafts this year. And then we're talking about how great the Jets did. Joe Douglas also learned under Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome was fantastic.
I mean, this guy, not only was he a great drafter, but now his tree of guys underneath him are starting to really show like their potential, and hopefully it continues for multiple teams to where this guy is just a fucking legend in as a GM.
Yeah, you having an eye for talent and having an eye for fit. That's how it works. That's how these GMs fucking do great. I don't know what's going on with Bill Belichick, Scotty. I don't know what is going on in New England with what they're doing. I think he's losing it.
I told you, I never think he has a good draft, so it's nothing new for me.
It's unbelievable. They drafted Cole Strange in the first round, who had a third-round grade on everybody's fucking board. I understand. If Cole Strange is an all-pro guard, that's fine, but you could have got him later. Like, the draft is all about value and where you draft guys, not who you draft. It's when you draft them. And if you could have gotten that guy who was an all-pro anyway in the second round, and you still had the ability to go get someone else, like a George Karlaftis or a Dax Hill or a Lewis Seen in the first round, you should have done it.
I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't get it. It's
he thinks he's the smartest guy in the fucking room.
Unfucking-believable.
Howie Roseman.
Yep.
There's a couple of these guys, Jerry Jones, a couple of these guys that they just think they're the smartest motherfuckers in the room. To be honest with you, all 3 of those guys that I just named, and I know there's others, but at least those 3 that I named, it's actually kind of worked out for a lot in a lot of ways for them. So they just keep doing it, but they're just like notorious for just thinking they know what everybody else doesn't.
Yeah.
And real quick, I know we were on the Ravens, and you're trying to go to the Patriots. I don't want to go to the Patriots. Their draft sucked. I want to stick with the Ravens real quick and take that Marquise Brown trade to Arizona, which we just heard now that DeAndre Hopkins is out for 6 games. This old bastard's losing his touch. He's trying to get a little bit of that
little sauce.
Sauce. And with that being said, what do you think? I mean, I thought it was fucking ridiculous when it happened. I was like, the 23rd overall pick for Marquise Brown.
Absolutely ridiculous.
To me, the guy's like his comparison. I'm telling you right now, he's like a Ted Ginn Jr. That's what the fuck he is to me.
Yeah, and he's
like a
5'8".
guy that I would not even put in like my top 20 fucking receiving. I mean, yeah, they talk about the only thing they could talk about him is that he's got like the most 60-yard plus or 50-yard plus touchdowns or 40-yard plus, whatever it is. Yeah, I get it, because the guy runs down the field and catches touchdown bombs every now and then.
Yeah,
that's great.
He's a one-trick pony
on your team.
He's a 5'8" one-trick pony.
I'm not fucking giving up the 23rd pick for it.
No, this is the absolute. We're seeing it in front of our eyes. This is the absolute sinking of the Arizona Cardinals ship. They are absolutely just sinking in front of us. They're gonna have to do it again, Scotty. They're gonna have to revamp their whole fucking team again in another year or two, like they did with Steve Wilkes and Josh Rosen.
With the AJ Green and DeAndre Hopkins and JJ Watt, all these guys who are ready to win right now, and then fucking shooting their load too soon last year. You bring in Kyler Murray because Marquise Brown and Kyler Murray, they played together.
Yeah.
Hollywood and him played together in college. I get that. So you want to try to mend the fence a little bit there. That ain't the way to do it, though. Just fucking either pay the guy or get him more help so that you guys can win and succeed. Winning cures all. You wanna make things right? Fucking win. And giving up your 23rd overall pick for Hollywood Brown ain't doing it. No. And I'm gonna segue that into, you could have changed that whole fucking narrative, added your second round pick, maybe a little more, and got AJ Brown. So what the fuck were these guys thinking? Because the Eagles made a monster move on Thursday night, going to get A.J. Brown, who I think is going to help the team. What do you think, Rock?
Yeah, well, monster move, as you said. I believe they knew. First of all, I think Arizona knew what was coming down the pike with fucking DeAndre Hopkins. That's why they were desperate. They went in a desperate mode, and they fucking had to go trade the 23 for Hollywood Brown. Give me a fucking break. But they knew, like I said, they were going to be without Hopkins. Number 2, A.J. Glass. I don't believe the Philadelphia Eagles realized what they just did. I really don't.
Man, Rock, why you gotta do this to me? Why you gotta steal my thunder, bro? So I was giving Dr. Tomas, our boy Dan Davis, and all the cats, back east, a couple days to really enjoy this moment, because I know a lot of them are excited about it. But I was going to go into on how I don't think this is the greatest move. And I'll let you start with your whole flip-flop in here and your tide changing, because you're the same motherfucker who was sucking off A.J. Brown less than a year ago and how he's the greatest receiver ever.
No, how he was going to be. And then what did he do? He did the same old shit. He did I'm going to sit out for turf toe for 3 fucking games. My team fucking needs me when fucking Derrick Henry's not there. I'm going to sit out. And more money.
Because he wanted out?
Money. I don't know. Who knows? But like the thing is these guys nowadays, to me, they're all thinking about themselves. Where is the team? Where is the thought of, I'm going to get mine? Why does it have to happen right now? Fuck you, I want out. That's the first thing in these guys' minds now, man. None of it is about team. None of it's about, fucking what is best for the team, my image, whatever. It's give me the money, because some guys in their fucking ear, probably their agent, saying, well, what happens if you tear an ACL fucking week 1? Then you're fucking fucked. Really? Is that how it is? Like all of a sudden, like people get hurt, then they don't get paid again? Give me a fucking break. This whole narrative of I'm going to go scrubby-dubby my fucking social media of the teams, it's so high school. I can't stand it. This is how it is now, okay? And A.J. Glass is a unbelievably talented receiver, okay? The Eagles got desperate, and the Eagles gave Tennessee Titans their first-round pick for A.J. Glass, and they paid him $25 million and $57 million guaranteed. I think they got buyer's remorse, and they're going to see buyer's remorse at about week 7 and week 8 when he's fucking hurt again. I think they made a huge mistake. Huge mistake.
So I actually couldn't agree with you more. I don't think they have buyer's remorse yet. I think by week 7 or 8 they will. And I think that because I think this guy, and I hate to beat a dead horse because we were talking about Devin Smith all last year, but now they got 2 guys that I think might be made of fucking glass. And we didn't see from Devin Smith last year, so I'll give him that.
Devontae, yeah.
But, Devontae Smith, sorry. I was thinking about my shitty fucking pick a few years ago. I was thinking about the shitty pick the fucking Jets made fucking years ago. Oh, my God.
That never panned out.
Devontae Smith. I think he's going to be very good, and I don't know if he's going to be injury-prone like we thought. We'll see. If he makes it through this year without any injuries, I might change my tune on that. It's still only been 1 year. But A.J. Brown, 3 years, 3 times he's been fucking banged up. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And again, I didn't want to break this news early because, it is something to be excited about. I mean, he is a big name. Don't get me wrong. I think he is a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. But top 5? Nope. Top 6? Nope. Top 7? Nope. Like, I would put him anywhere between the 8 and 12 range, depending on who you got in there. That's not including Michael Thomas. That's not including Jamar Chase. That's not including, if Devontae Smith steps up. And I'm also not including DeAndre Hopkins, because I'm going to start saying, starting this year, I don't think he's a top 10 receiver anymore. He kind of fell off after last year. So there's probably at least 7 guys I would take before him.
Scotty.
And in the next year or so, take out injuries, in the next year or so, there might be another 2 to 3 guys I would take before him. To me, I don't think trading for him was the worst move, but I think what sucks, and I get it, it's what the market is now, paying him $25 million a year, I think they're going to regret that by the end of the season.
Ding, 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 ding. That's where you're correct, Scotty. Here's why it really sucks for the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going to tell me that it was better. Howie, listen to me. You're going to tell me that it was better for you, Mr. Roseman, to trade the 18th pick in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft to the Tennessee Titans to bring in A.J. Glass, knowing that you had to pay him. Yes, he is the fucking best friend of Jalen Hurts. I get it. But you know that you have to pay him $100 million, 57 guaranteed, basically 25 a year, which is almost top tier for receivers. Or there was a guy named, what was his name? Oh, that's right. Jameson fucking Williams, who you guys did a pro day on. You brought him in for a private workout. You loved him. Everything was all about Eagles, Jameson Williams, blah, blah, blah. That motherfucker went 12th. You're going to tell me that you couldn't have traded up to 12, which was only 6 spots in front of your 18th pick, to go get Jameson Williams, who then you would only have to pay $5-6 million per year, basically, for those first 3 or 4 years? Tell me that, Howie.
With the fifth year option.
Fifth year option.
Now,
How does that make sense?
I will say this, Rock, is I am one of those people, when you have the Eagles are in a position where they have a lot of their team set. They really just need a few tweaks to their team. I'll be honest with you. Like right now, I think they're the leaders in the NFC East. And I think when you only need a couple tweaks, I think you go and get the proven commodity. That's where me and you differ. That's where we go different ways. I would have rathered A.J. Brown probably than a Jameson Williams. But to me, it would have made more sense if it was DK or Debo. Those two make more sense to me than A.J. Brown. I think way too many people are hyped on what we're seeing A.J. Brown do. Mm-hmm. He's got 3 seasons of tape. The guy's broken 1,000 yards once. He's gotten hurt every year. He hasn't done anything that's really
This has everything to do with Jalen Hurts.
He's got about 60% catch fucking completion.
Yeah.
It's not like he's fucking blown anyone out of the water in any stat category.
They're trying to make Jalen Hurts comfortable.
People are more enamored by the fact that this guy is just a monster. And I agree, he is a monster. But when it's all said and done, he might be more of like a top 20, top 15 guy when his career's all said and done for like the majority of his career.
He ain't going to last. He won't last, number 1. Number 2, this is to make Jalen Hurts comfortable. And number 3, Scotty, how the fuck can you tell me that the Eagles are better than the Cowboys in that division when you would take a Dak over a Jalen Hurts? You know that.
Oh, I think right now, I think they got a better offensive line. I think they got a better defensive line. I think as long as the receivers stay healthy, I guess I'll give Dallas the receiving core, but you still lost Amari Cooper, you lost Gregory. I mean, I like Dak better, don't get me wrong, 100%. Yeah. But you don't have a secondary. I mean, you got Diggs, but like, is he going to have an interception every other game for the first 10 games again? I doubt it. You know what I mean? Right. They got Slay. Right. Slay's the real deal. They brought in Kobe Dean. I think Dean, once he's healthy, if he doesn't play this year, that's different. But I think once healthy, he's going to be the real deal. And then here's the other thing. With what the Eagles did, the one thing that I'll give them credit on, and I don't like paying A.J. Brown what they paid him, but the one thing I'll give him credit on trading that first-round pick for him is if Jalen Hurts isn't the guy, they got 2 first-rounders next year. If Jalen Hurts is the guy, you're fucked, buddy. Because if Jalen Hurts is the guy, they're going to shore up that team, and they're going to be a fucking a mini dynasty for the next 5 years.
Oh, I agree. I'm not saying that they're not going to be better than the Cowboys. I would take Dallas 1 more year. Scotty, we had to get to one team, though. We were talking about, getting away from New England, and we were talking about getting away from the Ravens. We did not talk about Green Bay. What the fuck were they thinking?
I can't even think about Green Bay.
It's unbelievable. Is this not right now? It used to be the New England Patriots, okay? Now, I don't think it is anymore. Can you tell me, do you believe that the Green Bay Packers are the most hated team in the league that besides Packer fans, people would love to root against this team. I think that's where they are now.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so
people,
with Aaron Rodgers and
No.
fucking all this bullshit? They just traded Adams. Adams wants out. And Rodgers with his bullshit about the COVID and the vaccine and all this shit. And they still don't get him a wide receiver. He flamed out at home.
I don't know. I'm just, my whole thing is, I cannot believe they didn't take a wide receiver. I told you I would have taken a wide receiver and a tight end. Disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. It's almost like they're fucking with him. It's almost like they're like, yo, we don't give a fuck about you. You're so good. Handle it yourself. I don't know what to think. And then Rodgers comes out and says he didn't know Devontae Adams was leaving. First off, I'm calling bullshit on that.
Yeah, come on.
I'm calling bullshit on that. There's no fucking way that this prima donna didn't know, signs, and then 24 hours later, Devontae Adams is gone, and he doesn't make a big fucking tiff about it. You either just never cared about anything but the money, or you knew and you're playing it off because maybe Devontae Adams thought you were going to leave because of him, and then when you decided to stay, he was like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But I'm not buying it. I think Green Bay is a shit show. The one person I think that was happy as pig and shit after the draft, and he doesn't, I know he doesn't normally drink, but he probably got fucking hammered, was Mr. Thomas Edward Brady, because he's like, there ain't nothing in my fucking way this year. Nothing.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's in their way? They got the Rams. That's it, the Rams. The Niners are a mess. The fucking Cardinals are a mess. Don't even get me started in New Orleans, trading up. Doing all that trade shit not to get a quarterback? Are you out of your fucking tits? I could not believe it.
Dr.
What were you
Tomas sent
thinking?
us that text earlier today that essentially that the GM Mickey Loomis essentially traded like 5 picks of their draft capital, which was very important to this fucking
Chris
team.
Olave.
Yeah, because they need guys on the cheap.
gosh.
To what? Trade up for Chris Olave?
Oh my
Like, are you
gosh.
fucking kidding me? So, very strange. Very
You're out of
strange.
your fucking tits.
Very strange.
Like this organization's fucked. They're fucked.
Yeah, it's
They got no
unbelievable.
Sean Payton. I don't think Winston's the guy. I think Winston's going to be either a journeyman or a backup guy in the next couple of years because he had his shot last year, couldn't get it done.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, you had no Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, I'm assuming, is coming back. But that's another guy that wanted out. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm assuming you got Olave because you think Michael Thomas is on his way out. So unless you're planning on getting a first rounder from Michael Thomas and make up for that next year, I'm not really sure what the hell you were thinking. Because honestly, you probably could have stayed with wherever you were and maybe still got Chris Olave.
Yep. Yeah, they're a fucking mess. I want to get into Scotty's draft, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pump him up a little bit because he did a great job. 7 fucking picks that he got right in this fucking crazy ass draft that I got only fucking 2 right. The first 2 picks, even though I did tell everybody that it wasn't going to be Hutchinson since day one, I only got 2 picks right in this first in this NFL draft, ladies and gentlemen. Scotty got 7, so let's go over what he did. He did the first 2 picks, Trayvon and Aiden, of course. He got those right. Then he was correct in picking Evan Neal to the New York Giants. Then, of course, as he said earlier, the Wilson to Wilson connection is going to be something to watch in old East Rutherford with the Jets. Garrett Wilson is number 4. And then he put Chris Olave with the New Orleans Saints, as we just talked about. So that's number 5. Kyer Elam, the corner, goes to Buffalo at 25. What a pick there from Scotty Boy. And then last but not least, Mr. One-Trick Pony, Bull Rush himself, George Karlaftis, goes to the Kansas City Chiefs to put it 7 picks correct for Scotty in this draft. The prognosticators, most of them only got 6. So Scotty did a lot better than the prognosticators. 7 fucking guys.
Yeah,
Walker,
damn.
Hutchinson,
Not bad.
Neal, Wilson, Olave, Elam, and Karlaftis. 7 people. Very, very, very good, Scotty.
And there was a couple spots where I had the lineman or I had the linebacker or whatever it was, but I just had the wrong guy because I didn't expect it. And real quick, I want to say I'll give the Giants some credit. They had a great draft as well. Not guys I was high on, but they are high ranked guys. So I'm gonna give them credit where credit's due. We'll see how that all pans out. But I did hear one story I just wanted to mention. That's why I brought up the Giants. Not really about their draft, about who they picked first. Did you hear this fucking story about? I just heard it today about Kayvon Thibodeau, and on their meet, did you hear this? They took him out to dinner. So listen to this shit. I couldn't believe it. Apparently they took Thibodeau and I think Hutchinson out to dinner the same night. I don't know if it was together. It sounded, the way they were telling the story, it sounded like they were together, but it might have been one after the other. That don't hold me to. Anyway, at dinner, they started questioning him about his family and his character. He got so upset, he actually had to get up, leave, go to the bathroom, and cool off. He was so pissed. I don't know what they asked him or what they said to him, but apparently they had a complete, basically shit show of a night because they were like almost like damn near arguing. But Thibodeau kept it professional and didn't go off or anything, but basically had to calm himself down and left completely pissed off on the whole dinner date. And then they go and draft this guy. I was blown away. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened here. And then apparently they said now they talked about it, and him and whoever the scout was or whatever he talked to, like, they're cool. They put it behind them. But, like, what makes you think that's the guy to draft if that happened? You pushed his buttons and he reacted.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. If that's the case, then I love the fact that he's a Giant, because the first inkling of anything going wrong, circa OBJ, if you remember how that went, they're just going to start fucking going at each other, and then boom, he's going to get traded. I really think, Scotty, and I'm not trying to piss anybody off, in your family, you know how I feel about the Giants. I think they had an awful draft. I think they picked two guys
Really?
that they should have absolutely, in just the same position, taken two other guys. I have no fucking clue how they passed up on Ike Ekwonu. Okay, Ike Ekwonu is going to be now an all-pro in Carolina. They actually got their heads out of their asses and said, we don't want a quarterback. We're going to go with the best offensive lineman at 6 because he's here. And they took, of course, the Giants take Evan Neal, and then they take Thibodeau instead of a guy like Jermaine Johnson or a guy like even Jordan Davis. I have no fucking clue what the Giants are doing. These guys are so boom or bust to me. And they have so many issues. Neal's got issues. His medicals are bad, apparently. You know how I feel about Alabama offensive linemen. Thibodeau, we all know what the fuck he's been going through and what we've been looking at Thibodeau for the whole fucking draft process. You're not going to take a guy like Ike Ekwonu and then Jermaine Johnson, who they did a ton of work on? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't like the draft at all.
I will say this. I will say this about Jermaine Johnson. They obviously weren't the only team to pass on him. I mean, he dropped to 26 for a reason.
Sure.
I do agree with you. And again, I didn't see the Jets taking Sauce, so I thought they were going to be a surefire thing for Sauce. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think they had a bad draft. I think they got guys. I mean, they got two guys in the top 10 prospect that were top 10 prospects. So, and a lot of people would have said a year ago those would have been number 1 and number 2 taken off the board. So
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think they did a terrible job. I will say this. I got to give credit where credit's due. I know we'll have Dr. Tomas on here at another date, so I don't want to get too much into his picks, but I got to give him credit when I told him he was out of his tits for Derek Stingley going number 3. I still think he's out of his tits. I still think Houston now is out of their tits, but it happened. It happened, folks. This kid got taken number 3 overall. Now let's see if he's going to be what they think he's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. But guess what? Scotty, I think Houston made a huge mistake because they didn't get Sauced. Because Sauce is going to be a bona fide stud for you. And wherever he would have went, he's going to be a corner that's long, fast, and plays the ball. Holy shit, the Jets got such a steal there. Stingley going 3 before Sauce. Give me a fucking break. But, Scotty, I'm going to tell you. I mean,
go ahead.
This draft, I hope I never see one again like this. I don't want to.
It's fun as fuck.
I don't want to see a draft that has no quarterback juice, no fucking intrigue with teams trading up for that quarterback. I don't want to see it. This draft, I know I sucked at it. I know I only got 2 because I put all my balls into fucking trades and quarterbacks. I do not want to see this again. This draft to me was so fucking silly. The way that 9 trades in the first round, a record, give me a fucking break, and none of them involved quarterbacks. Pittsburgh sat at 20 and took Pickett. I mean, it's a fucking joke.
What did you think about that real quick? I really thought they were taking Malik Willis.
I thought they were taking Willis
shocked.
too. I couldn't believe it. Number 1, I thought that Pickett was lined up with Carolina, of course. But number 2, I thought that they had seen enough of Pickett over 5 years at the University of fucking Pittsburgh to say, you know what, we do want somebody that has a little bit more mojo, a little bit more movement, a little bit more pop in the arm.
Or maybe
it was the reverse.
Maybe they saw something that saw something that we didn't.
It was the reverse.
Great,
they loved him. Tomlin loved him apparently, and I fell into the juice of the Steelers wanting Willis, and apparently they knew that they wanted Pickett the whole fucking time. The thing that would turn me off though, if I'm Pickett, other than the fact that I got a 4-inch dick, is the fact that Pittsburgh didn't want to move up to come get me. You know, I don't like that. Like, Pittsburgh would have been okay to lose me. They just sat at 20. They didn't fucking move. That would turn me off.
You could say that about a lot of guys. I mean, come on.
That would turn me off, though, knowing that Carolina was fucking in for quarterback.
How do you know? They could tell them, hey, we tried to move up. No one would move with us.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think
I just can't believe New Orleans didn't take quarterback. Yeah. I can't believe we didn't get quarterback till like the second, third round.
Carolina. What's Carolina going to do? Okay, I mean that's a joke to me that they're just going to roll with Sammy D. Give me a break.
They didn't get any quarterback at all.
They got Corral in the 5th round.
Corral, yeah, a lot of people think Corral's going to be good though.
But dude, why did they take him in
this quarterback?
Why they take him in the 5th round? Right? They're like he's not going to be.
I told you I told you that rule is not on the hot seat, and I told you they have to start Sam Darnold no matter what. He's getting paid 18, 22 million, whatever the fuck he's getting paid.
Fucking teams are dumpster.
Yeah, I mean not really, because if they keep building everything else around him, then all they got to do is like what I keep telling you. You build everything else around you instead of keep taking a quarterback every year, and then you can just drop one in or just draft one. And instead of being like the fucking Jets, every 3-4 years you get a new quarterback, so you waste your top 10 pick on a quarterback every 2 to 3 years. If they were doing what they did this year for every year and we just sucked with the quarterback, then the second we get a good quarterback, it's game over. Yeah, but no, the problem is anytime we get a quarterback who could be good, we're fucked.
Yeah, well, they're tanking again.
No, they ain't taking. I don't think they're tanking.
They're tanking. I mean, Sammy D, we know what he is.
I don't think so.
We know what he is now. Okay, so I don't think I never thought they were getting Baker. And Jimmy G's too expensive. You're not going to have 2 guys on the roster at quarterback making 18, 20 million a year. You're just not going to do it. So Carolina's okay with Sammy D and fucking Matt Corral. Yeah, okay, you got Corral in the 5th round. If he doesn't pan out, fine. It's a 5th round pick. I get it. But you're going to tell me that you're going to sell that fucking fan base? Thank God I'm not a fucking Carolina Panther fan. You're going to sell me that Sammy D's the quarterback again? I've seen this fucking movie. I don't like it. I walked out halfway through last time. I don't want to fucking come in and pay for it and see it again. Fucking Sammy D. The Carolina is a dumpster fire.
I don't think it's a dumpster fire. I think you're overreacting. But I will say this. Other thing, moving on from Carolina, because you catch me with this. You're getting me all upset about talking bad about my boy Sammy D.
He's done.
Let's, real quick. He's done. Real quick, little breaking news. And I don't think it's actually that big of a deal, but it is interesting. Mike Davis just got released today.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with this guy? What the fuck? This guy can't stay on a team.
Well,
is he a jerk off or what?
Well, Atlanta, I think proved to everybody, and I went high on Mike Davis last year, folks. It was a 5th round pick in fantasy for Mike Davis for me. Mike Davis is a hell of a football player. The problem is he's not the guy. He's a complimentary guy. Atlanta has the guy now in Cordero Patterson. And then you got to get the ball to Pitts. You're going to have to get the ball to Drake London now. So Mike Davis is kind of the odd man out. I think for a team, Dallas can't have him, but for a team that needs the thunder to the running back's lightning, I think a team like Buffalo might work. No,
he'll go to fucking Tampa, bro. Watch. He'll go to Tampa, and you'll see fucking Tom Brady throwing this guy 17 touchdowns a fucking year.
Yeah, Mike Davis is. I think he's a good football player. I really do. Who knows? Maybe he goes back to San Fran. Who knows?
I did too. Yeah, I could see him going to San Fran.
But I think he's a good football player. And yeah, unfortunately, he's back out on the street again 3 times in 3 years. But yeah, Scotty. Like I said, I don't want to see a draft like this ever again. I want the quarterbacks to be the centerpieces, and then we come off of that, not the fucking offensive linemen and the wide receivers, for Christ's sake. So, Scotty boy, but I will say that I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the Jets. And this is really exciting now.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I don't agree though with Dr. Tomas that the Jets are going to be the 2022 Bengals. I don't see that.
Of course you don't.
I think it's one more year.
Naysayer.
No, it's
one
more year. You got one more year. You got one more year. You need one more offseason. You need one more offseason. The division's too good, man. The division is too good. You can't win that division next year. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way you're winning that division. The only way you win the division is if Josh Allen gets hurt and the Patriots all of a sudden forget how to play football. Okay? That's the only way you're winning that division next year. But I will say that in 2023, that's your fucking chance. 2023 is your chance because, like you said, the Bills got to start paying people. Their team's going to fall apart, and you don't think Josh Allen can handle it. Miami's going to have a new quarterback probably. You're probably better off that it's Lamar Jackson instead of Tua because he is a little bit more erratic. And the Patriots, a year older for Belichick.
Talk about dumpster fire. I think that's going to be a dumpster fire.
Right. So you got one more year. I think the goal here is to make the playoffs as a wild card team next year. I think that's the goal. But I'm not going to go WTF with the Jets next year.
I will say this one little nugget, little sprinkle.
I missed the
when they were doing, Mr. Sprinkle. I haven't done a sprinkle in a while. A little sprinkle for those Jet fans out there. And I know there's only like 20 of them, but for the Jet fans out there, I did see Robert Saleh in the press conference soon after the draft.
Who's that?
Or right before. Bobby Saleh from the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
I saw he did a press conference and he talked straight into the camera when they asked him about Mekhi Becton not being at voluntary practices. I don't know if you saw this. He talked right into the camera and said, "Hey, we'd love to have you back, buddy." That gives me a little bit of cause for pause and a little hesitation. Why the fuck? I mean, is he joking? Or is there a behind-the-scenes holdout or some kind of beef with the left tackle you invested your future in? You know, is there something going on? Like, why the
yeah,
did you not see that?
He's at a fat farm right now, Scotty. The kid got up to 400 pounds in the offseason. They're having him train in Florida to fucking get his ass in shape. That's where he is. He's at a specialty fucking program, like a fat farm, essentially.
But it didn't sound like they didn't want him in camp. It sounded like he's refusing to come to camp.
They didn't fucking take Ike Ekwonu at number 4 or Evan Neal or fucking Charles Cross at number 4. That was the telltale sign that they're rolling with Becton. Problem is that now he's out of their hands. He's in a third-party program to get his ass down to fucking some manageable weight so he can fucking start the season. You know, that's the problem. That's why he's hurting his knees, his Achilles, all that shit, because he's 400 pounds. This guy is one of those dudes that's just naturally, he's fucking 6'7". He's a monster.
He's a massive man.
He's a fucking monster, and
massive man.
He's got to control himself. With the eating, probably he looks at a fucking donut. He gains 15 pounds. So I don't even. I think he's going to be back.
I can relate, man. I can relate.
He's going to be back. All right, he's going to be back. But the problem is he going to be there and available for you and not hurt? But their draft told you the telltale sign of, okay, we'll bring in Max Mitchell just in case, you know, to play left tackle. But the fact that they didn't draft Icky is a huge sign that they want Becton back.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I'm hoping. I'm hoping we. You know what? I don't even care. I don't need to get the Super Bowl next year. I just want to see immense improvement, and I just want to see evidence that the team's coming together and that Zach Wilson's the guy.
Well, what
That's
you
all
need
I
to do.
I just want evidence that Zach Wilson's the guy.
Well, you want evidence either or. You want evidence of either he's not the guy or he is the guy, because you don't want to waste any time, right? You know, we've seen how this league works, especially with Arizona, and they're going to have to do it again with Kyler at some point.
Unfortunately, Rocco, the way the way the NFL works is the window opening starts now.
I know.
So you got from this year to about maybe another 2-3 years. So if Zach Wilson's not the guy, you got to get someone plug and play immediately.
Absolutely.
And if he is the guy, he got 3 years to get it done.
Yep, absolutely. I'm hoping that he is. I know he was a stretch at 2 last year in the draft, but they love him, and I think he's got some traits to make him special. The problem is a lot of guys that are really special show you in year one. It doesn't matter what they have around them. I don't think right now we can say that fucking Zachy Dub has shown a ton of that last year. But I hope this is the year to do it, because apparently he's walked into camp with a bunch of swagger, new swagger, like his teammates are saying. He's a whole different guy, whole new ball game. And
hopefully he puts some weight on too.
Yep. So I'm excited for you, Scotty. Excited for you and Bobby Sala from the Bronx. But that was it, baby. Episode 41. This was good. And again, I just want to make sure everybody knows Scotty got 7 right in the fucking mock draft. He killed it. He beat most of their prognosticators in the draft this year in that fucking crapshoot that we saw about 4 days ago.
Hey, real quick shout out too. We got the pick right on the over under on the receivers. They said 6.5. We took the under.
Yes, we did. And there were 6 receivers. 6 receivers, and they probably should have been.
I think Vegas was banking on fucking Green Bay taking at least 1, and that would have been 7.
You're right. You're exactly right. I was a little shocked that Jabo dropped to the second round. But, yeah, ultimately, it was about kind of what we expected for this year, and it was fucking wild. But that was good, Scotty G. We got through the draft, baby. 2 years in a row. Here it is. For Scotty G, this is Rocco B. We're saying see you later and sayonara.
Adios.